Okay, so I'm Meek, and thank you guys for having me today. I'm going to talk about a farm tour that I went on this summer. So this was through the 4-H Livestock Club, and I've been in the club for 9 years, and we'd always talked about going on trips, and we'd planned, and something fell through and we never went. So this is my last year in the club, and I was vice president, so my goal for this year was we are going to go on a trip. I'm going to make sure it happened. So I was in the extension office at least once a week. I was in there a lot trying to help our leader plan and organize because I really wanted to go. So we started out, we were going to go to the Chesapeake Bay and learn about the agriculture that they do there, like the fishing and the clams. And everybody in the club was excited about it, but it wasn't our first choice. But it was going to be something new because we all came from either beef or dairy backgrounds. So one day our old ag extension agent called, and he had just moved out to Kansas, and he said, if you guys ever want to do a trip, just come out and we'd be glad to help you plan. And we were like, yeah, that's great. We would rather go do that than go to the Chesapeake Bay. So we started planning, and it actually happened. So on the way out there, we stopped at the St. Louis Arch and did some touristy things, which was cool because a lot of kids in the club hadn't been farther west than Kentucky or West Virginia. So that was really neat to see. And then the first part of the trip, while we were in Kansas, we toured K-State and then our ag agent's farm. And while we were at the farm, there was actually a tornado a couple miles down the road, which was cool, but a little scary at the same time because we were just in a barn, we didn't have any shelter. And then the main part of the trip, we were in Dodge City. So we went to a feedlot that had 40,000 cows, and then we went to a dairy that milked 9,000 cows a day. And that was really neat to see. We also went to the Gardner Angus Ranch and the Cargill packing plant. So what I took away from this trip was, if you want to do something, you have to go after it and be motivated and stay on that. You can't just let it kind of fall to the side. So hopefully this has started a tradition, and the kids coming up in the club will be able to do trips at least every year, every other year. This coming summer, they're actually talking about going to Colorado and Wyoming. So we'll see. But thank you guys for having me. Are there any questions?